In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I made my first wholesale dropshipping sale on eBay. I'm going to show you exactly what item it was, it's a pretty funny item, and exactly what supplier I used and how I went about it. So if you like the sound of this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and also be sure to hit that subscribe button, and when you do, hit the bell notification button so you can be alerted of new wholesale dropshipping videos that I'm putting out in the future. And if you haven't seen it already, we do have a free wholesale dropshipping mini course. It's going to be down in the description down below. Be sure to check that out. It's over an hour of content. It's completely free. And while I'm at it, shamelessly plugging here, I did just drop a new Instagram page. It's gonna be a little bit more personal with my day-to-day life and a little bit more personal images and whatnot. So be sure to follow that as well. I'm sure you're gonna love it. So without further ado, let's get inside of my computer. I'm gonna show you exactly what sale it was or what item I did sell, what supplier I used, and let's go inside. All right, so here we are inside of the PowerPoint. And like I said, before we get started, please be sure to subscribe or smash that like button and subscribe. And I do have a question for all of you before we get started. Have you started with wholesale dropshipping on eBay yet? If not, why? Leave the comment down below. If so, please tell me how's it going, what your experience is with it, and how you're liking it so far. So let's get into the overview first off. And yes, I did say this item was a pretty funny one. It is legitimately a toilet. I sold a toilet for my first wholesale dropshipping sale on eBay ever. This is a toilet that goes inside of a boat. And if you did watch my first ever wholesale contract video that I did, how I went about getting it, it was from the same exact supplier, CWR Electronics or CWR Distribution. They're pretty popular. They have a ton of brands out there. They have a ton of different items. They have like 26,000 items that you can drop ship onto eBay. They don't care if you drop ship onto eBay. You just need to make sure you're listing proper brands and avoiding VARO violations, which I did just make a video on. So let's get into it. It was on a brand new account. I made a brand new account. Anybody that's had a course for me in the past knows that I usually make a brand new account for the course and show the setup process and listing items and making sales and everything like that. The account was created on the 3rd, but there was a couple issues about how I got banned and stuff like that, which I did make a video on. I'll link that one above up here somewhere. The majority of the items that I listed, I had a CSV, not a CSV, but like a Google Sheets folder full of them, and a decent amount of them, and I listed the majority of them up on the 16th of February, and this sale came on the 18th of February for a whopping, I don't know if I spelled whopping right, but for a whopping $141.45. So I had about loosely, I had around 95 items loosely sourced up for 2 days. That's how long it took to make the first sale. I wanted to bulk upload a decent amount of items up front at first because I do think that there's a little bit of a different tweak in the method that I'm going to be going for with this wholesale drop shipping technique, and we're going to get into that a little bit later in the video. So it sold for $147.95. I didn't even put free shipping on the listing. I put $7.95. Like I said, these listings weren't optimized. There was no item specifics really added in there. There was really no title optimization at all. It was just all just like the regular supplier, what the supplier gave me for the name, description, and just pretty much the brand of the item, what the part number was, and that was about it. So I purchased it for $113.16 with $7.95 shipping, and it was $121.11 what it came out to. With my credit card cash back, that's what CCCB stands for, it did end up making around, what was it, $11 profit if this would leave the screen, about $12 profit at around 8.5%. And yes, that's not a huge margin, I know, but again, I listed them all up in bulk. I didn't really do much optimization. I wanted to make a sale as quickly as possible just to prove the fact that you can just make sales on brand new accounts. Doesn't matter about feedback, doesn't matter anything. There's no feedback on this account. There was no issues making a sale within the first 2 days. I barely optimized any of these items, and I made a sale for a decent profit right off the bat. So I just want to do this as a proof of concept for anybody out there that's, a non-believer, or anybody out there that just doesn't think that this can possibly happen, or just believes that, I have some special gift. I don't. I'm just sourcing items, throwing them onto the store, and I'm going to give you the exact criteria that I went through in order to find these items so that you can do the same exact thing and profit from it and make money from home and be successful with this. So what was my criteria for the items? It's a bit different than with retail arbitrage, like I said. With a lot of these suppliers that I'm getting handed right now, they're giving me huge CSV files of tons of items out there. And, I don't really want to do all the optimization and everything if there's 26,000 items. Yes, I'll go through later on, or my VAs will go through later on and optimize the ones that, either made sales or optimize ones that, sold 20 times in the last 30 days from somebody that we sourced it from. But, if you just want to throw a bunch of bulk items up there, as long as those items you're allowed to sell, they're not the brands that you're not allowed to. And CWR literally tells you what brands you're allowed to and which ones you're not allowed to. You'll be good if you just bulk upload some items up there. Again, I don't think this is the most efficient method, and I don't think it's something that if you're a complete beginner, you're going to see a lot of success with, because, you know, you might not know how to get your account limits raised as quickly and other things like that, which I will show later on in this video, that I did get my account limits listed to unlimited limits. And if you don't think that's possible, it is possible. Anything's possible, and I'm not lying to you, and I'll show that as well. So I found sellers of items from CWR Electronics fairly easily. It was very easy. The supplier's going to give you the supplier sheet. All the items are there. Just search the UPC that's in that CSV file or in the Excel file into eBay, and you'll find the item. Once you find an item, all you have to do is, you know, notice that they're dropshipping. It's pretty easy to tell. It's priced higher than what the supplier is. They have the same exact description as the supplier, same manufacturer, same brand, same everything. And then all you need to do is just go into their store or copy their store name, go on to Zik Analytics, which I've been preaching forever. And if you don't know what Zik Analytics is, I will also link that up above. I have a lot of videos on it. And then you just go through their store, source out their good items if they've sold at least one time in the last 30 days. So in the past, you know, 10 times in the last 30 days, 5 times in the last 30 days. With this method, there's going to be a lot more bulk on your store. There's going to be a lot more, you know, hopefully in the future, higher margins, and really just less need to be really worrying about what items are on your store, because you're technically allowed to be selling these items. Wholesale dropshipping is allowed, and there's really a lot less risk for either getting your account in trouble, Vero violations, and things of the like. So you can list as many items as you want, and it's a lot easier to list them quickly with the software that I'm using that we're going to be teaching inside of the course. So, you know, I've just been looking for items with decent margin. As long as it's getting profitable margins, I'm just competing with it in the same price range. You know, I listed everything up around the same profit margin, which was like 6% front end, 2% cash back, or 6.5%. You know, that's just what I went for to try to make some sales off the bat, just to prove that it works. And from there, you know, obviously optimize my strategy and make it a lot better so I can scale a lot quicker. So here's one person I found. All I did was find a UPC, like I said, from the supplier's sheet that they gave me. And the UPC stands for Universal Product Code. As long as people aren't scheming the UPC or making fake ones or uploading fake ones into eBay or Amazon or whatever website you're selling on, then, you know, it's very easy. You just type it in the search bar and you're going to find the item almost immediately. So this person has 36,000 items up on their store, and they're only doing 30,000 in sales. And personally, I don't think this person's store is very well put together, but this is kind of the type of store that you'll find, you know, anywhere between like 15 to 35,000, 36,000 items up, doing anywhere between like 30, I would say, to like 100, and I saw like $180,000 in sales a month. You can tell that there's some people that are putting a lot more effort into it, and you can tell that this person literally bulk uploaded the majority of these items a long time ago. This is the upload date, 2018, 2015, 2016, 2017. You know, there's only one from 2019 in the top. This one was from 2013, literally 7 years ago, and they're still making sales on it. They sold it 612 times. So that's the power of, you know, longevity on your account. This person probably hasn't touched their account in like barely at all in the last year, and they're just checking it every once in a while, listing items up every once in a while when they feel like it, and they're still making sales. I'm sure this store is profitable, because if not, then they wouldn't have been running it for this long. I would hope they would have realized that they're either losing money if they are, which I don't think they are. That's pretty much what I'm doing. Having my VAs going through, sourcing any of these items. If it's sold one time or more in the last 30 days, I'm sniping it. And you know, there's multiple other people on this on these listings. And yes, somebody on one of my lives said CWR, there's like 250 sellers on each item. It's too saturated. You know, how do you compete or anything like that? I can guarantee you that person legitimately didn't even like attempt to list an item. You know, I listed 95 items real quick, very little research, very little optimization, very little anything, and made a sale in the first day and a half. So, you know, if there's a will, there's a way. You could be a non-believer, you can be a believer. If you put in the work, if you put in the time and the effort, and, you know, build out a system, you'll be good to go. You know, this is pretty much it. There's a lot more other sellers out there. If there's 6 other people selling the same item under the same UPC, take all of their accounts, snipe all of their items. You know, at least you know those ones that have prior selling history, and from there you can either move on to a new supplier, or, you know, just start trying to optimize other items that, you know, somebody may have not sold within the last 30 days. I think, you know, most of these people have like 500, 800 listings that have sold, or this person had 1,070 listings that sold in the last 30 days, individual listings. If the source sheet that you're getting has 26,000 items, it's 1/26 of the sheet. I'm sure there's items out there that you could optimize and list up onto eBay and make sales over this person, because this person clearly hasn't listed items in a long time. What are my plans moving forward with wholesale dropshipping? Like I said, that was just pretty much a proof of concept type experimental thing where I could make, you know, how quickly can I make a sale with this? Again, I want to move into making this a legitimate business, a legitimate other source of income, a full-blown income from this one store. And I'm in touch right now with 3 to 4 more suppliers that are pretty much like CWR, but just in other niches, and they seem very promising. They also have extreme CSV files that, just have tons of items on there that I've also found other people drop shipping them on, separate accounts. Most people that are doing this will have, this is their CWR account, this is their, the other suppliers' accounts. From what I've seen, not a lot of mixing between the two, although that person that I just showed probably had some mixture of a few other marine-based wholesale dropshipping suppliers. You get the spreadsheet with thousands of potentially profitable products. How hard is it to list these items up, see what's selling, list them, and also make sales as well? You don't have to be the lowest price, although price is very important, but you do need to be putting in the effort to list the items, run an efficient store, make sure you're doing everything properly, pricing your items properly, and making sure all your back-end processes, it's literally the same thing. You're just getting a large CSV usually from the supplier, and then you're taking those items, finding them on eBay, finding them on Amazon if you want to do it on Amazon, and then just hopping on the listing or listing the listing yourself. You can do your own changes, you can do whatever you want, and you're good to go. So again, list them up. After due diligence is done, you want to make sure they're profitable, they're not barrow items, there's some sales history when you first get started. If you have low listing limits and you're listing items that have no sales history on eBay, or you can't find anybody else, there's a lot less likely of a chance that that item will sell. Not saying it won't, or those items won't sell, not saying they won't, but it's a lot less likely that those items will sell compared to one that has sales history on somebody else's account of 20, 25, 30 times in the last 30 days. If you have low selling limits, that's what you want to be going for. But as you can tell, this is a brand new account, and I hit 2 billion items and $2 billion in selling limits on this brand new account. I could not replicate it after this, and I want to put out a video on it. If you want a video on it, post a comment down below and say video on extreme listing limits or 2 billion listing limits, please, Tom. I want to see it. And I'll give it to you guys. I'll give it to you. Wasn't able to replicate it on other accounts, but I was able to get up to 500,000 items and $400,000, which is a really weird amount of items to dollar ratio, which means that if you were to list 500,000 items, each of your items would be on average less than $1 on your account to hit the 400,000. Again, it doesn't really matter. It shows that with this trick, you can get huge listing limits on accounts that are pretty much brand new. And do I suggest on a brand new account, if you have 2 billion listing limits, to go hog wild and list every single possible item that you can? No, I do not. I suggest that you're smart about it. I still don't know the longevity of how this will affect the account. If I go and list 1,000 items tomorrow, well, a month down the road, will I run into any issues? This account, like I already made a video on, got banned in the past because of some sort of, verification violation or whatever they were trying to do with me, and I got it back. So again, I'm going to tiptoe as much as possible for the first couple months here, make sure that everything's running properly, and then take it and scale and run with it. So in the next couple month or so, I want to start hitting around the $10,000 to $20,000 in sales range. I think it's definitely doable. It's going to take some work. Maybe 3 to 4 months would be more ideal, or more, make more sense. But again, I want to be making better profits. A lot of these people that I'm sniping from either have, like lower margins, or they have very high margins. And I've seen people that are selling items regularly every single month that are selling at like 15, 16, 17% margin. So if you can hit 20,000 in sales in the next couple months at 17% margin, you're making almost $4,000 a month front end profit. Again, that's a nice supplemental income on top of retail arbitrage, on top of Amazon dropshipping, on top of every single other thing else that you're doing to come in to one nice conglomeration of just money in your pocket every single month. And that's what you need to be doing with eBay dropshipping and all the other forms of e-commerce and online business. You need to be going out and finding all the ones that you want to be doing and, really scaling them all up at the same time. I think wholesale dropshipping, the way that we're going to be teaching inside of the course, the way that I'm doing it at the moment, and Jason has been doing it for a long time, is definitely going to be a very profitable way to go about it in the future. And it's really up to you to put in the work, the effort, and make sure that your account is running very well and streamlined in order to actually see the results. If there's a will, there's a way, and the people that are putting in the effort are the ones that are going to reap the rewards in the future. So what are the key takeaways from this video? First off, some wholesale suppliers provide you with massive CSVs, like files that are so big you would get overwhelmed, and your computer sometimes gets overwhelmed by it. Don't get overwhelmed. You can just parse through them. Control F is your friend. Control find, just hit that, keep hitting Control F. You'll find the items. You don't need to list all of them. It's honestly a daunting task, or scary, I would say, to list 20,000 items on an account at once. I had that in the past. I'm not sure I'm ready to get back to it at all, but you know, it is something that could be on the back burner in the future as long as it's done properly, legitimately, and you know, you have all the wholesale contracts and everything backed up, backing you, lined up backing you, so that you know, you make sure that your account is in the best possible standing at all points in time. This gives you the ability to list a lot of items at once, like I said. Also, don't be worried about that. And as long as you're doing everything properly, you'll be fine. You still need to pay attention to what you're listing, so I've already reiterated that a bunch of times, but I have been seeing a lot of people getting hit with these Vero violations, so I want to make sure that nobody else gets these, or at least, you know, you mitigate as much as possible. Growing a wholesale store may take a little bit more work. You're not always going to get wholesale suppliers that are providing you the popular Hamilton Beach microwave from Walmart at extremely low prices that you're going to be able to drop ship. Some of these brands aren't always the biggest name brands. Some of these brands, items don't even have brands. And then again, if you're dealing with this many items, do you want to go more of the optimization route or the bulk upload route, or something in between, a little hybrid of it? I think the hybrid's probably the better way to go. You know, you don't want to just be throwing random things up in your account, but you also, if you have so many items, how do you know which ones are going to be the best after you've sniped the majority of the people out there? You know, there's not as many people doing this, so that's why it's harder to find a really good items, as opposed to, you know, Walmart items that you can find somebody drop shipping on Zik Analytics for like 100+ times a month all over the place. Work will be worth it with added safety and margin. So the work that you're putting into it will be extremely worth it in the future. Like I showed here, this person's account has been up at least since 2013. If you're making even $1,000 a month from this account profit after all expenses and everything, $1,000 a month from that account profit, that's $12,000 a year. Over the course of 7 years, that's $84,000 extra dollars you could have in your pocket. That, if I did the math right, I think I did, $84,000 extra dollars you could have in your pocket that you wouldn't have had beforehand, that you would have probably wasted at the bars, or, you know, just spent your time watching Netflix instead of running an account that's putting money in your pocket, that's allowing you to have financial freedom, that's allowing you to, you know, live a better and higher quality life. And I think that's what the majority of us out here that are doing this and watching my videos or watching other videos out there on YouTube really want. So, you know, this is a great way to be doing it, and I can't say that enough. If you have any questions, please ask them below. I know this may have been a loaded video, specifically with the 2 billion listing limits, which I'm sure will get a lot of hype. You know, I think it's great, but I don't think it's something to rely upon. I've seen a lot of people in the past that have done this trick by accident or whatever, that get these extreme listing limits, list thousands and thousands of items real quickly, and then have no idea what they're doing, have no back-end processes, not know what Vero even is, get their account banned almost immediately, and then, you know, blame the eBay gods for being terrible and always spiting them when they try to sell on their platform. So in conclusion, you know, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, like I said, please post them down below. Don't be afraid to ask any questions. I know wholesale dropshipping is a little bit more of a foreign topic, so I'm sure there can be a lot more questions on it. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification button. You will get notified every single time I post a video. Please be sure to smash that like button, and if you haven't already, check out the free wholesale dropshipping mini course. Jason made it. It's over an hour long. I think there's about 6 videos inside. It's some good stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.